So hi all. So today I will be representing you a small idea like how this electric vehicle work and the thermal management, how it is very important in an full electric vehicle. So today we will be covering introduction to electric vehicles, sales used in electric vehicles, their thermal management, battery cooling, and a small case study and what is the job opportunities in the market. So here, like a good replica of a electric vehicle. So there are many types of electric vehicle. We will be discussing full battery electric vehicle. So giving an example, so how this electric vehicle is. So in Indian Railway trains are there. So that also running on the electricity. So that also a kind of electric vehicle, just a major difference is their energy storage system is outside, and in battery electric vehicle, their energy storage system are within the car or any vehicle is there. So that all battery system which store the energy that is to be inside the vehicle. So if I define it, what is an electric vehicle? So an electric vehicle is a vehicle which uses traction motor for propulsion, which get power from either external storage or internal storage system within them. So in like whatever you are seeing on the roads, the electric cars, electric bikes, those all have their energy storage system inside, and something like railway or metro, those all their energy storage system is outside. So if I talk about complete battery electric vehicle, then what those all things are there inside. So we have major components: battery pack, charger, motor, inverter, and dc to dc converter are there in a typical electric vehicle. So we can see here how electric vehicle made. So we have a small cells. This is a cylindrical cell. Many of cells used to get module, and then many of the modules combine together to make a pack, and this pack we assemble in a battery vehicle to get the energy storage. Similarly, in second pick, this is a pouch cell. So many of pouch cells used to club together to make a module, and many of the module used to club together to make a battery pack, and finally we assemble this in a car to for the energy storage system. So, as I told you, my major focus will be on thermal management of electric vehicle today. So, I will be not going in deep of this how this electric vehicle is, how their battery systems are. I will be going towards the thermal management system of that. So, basic things like what kind of cells people are using in electric vehicle. So, those all are pouch cells, prismatic cells, and cylindrical cells. You can see here, this is pouch cell, this is prismatic cells, and these all are cylindrical cells. So, introduction to thermal management of electric vehicle. So, you can see a photo of electric vehicle and how this thermal management, like what thermally we have to manage. So, we had to manage with outside heat as well as inside heat, which is generated by the battery pack. So here a few points are there. Why EV thermal management is important. So first thing, for passengers comfortable ride. Suppose you are riding a car and there are 40-50 degrees Celsius inside the car cabin, you will not be feeling comfortable. So to feel comfortable, you need a thermal management in an electric vehicle. Second, the battery pack. So to keep battery pack under optimal temperature range and within an acceptable temperature radius. So what is to happen, the sales and all, so when it is manufactured by manufacturer, so they told ki okay, my sales will be, suppose my cell is in this temperature range, so it will be having like their good life, good performance. Suppose some companies are there like Panasonic, LG, Samsung. These all companies are making cells, this battery cells for the battery pack for the electric vehicle, and they are telling ki if my battery pack or my cell will be in this temperature range, then their performance will be high, their life will be high. So to cope up with that, we have to maintain our battery pack in a optimal range, record the state of the battery and detect critical points for battery failures and transmit alarm message. So why this point? So you must be heard about there is a case in battery electric vehicle, that is thermal runaway. So to stop the thermal runaway before like there are various actions are there, like you must be heard about that corrective and preventive action. So here we can't go for the corrective action, we anyhow we have to do the preventive action. So to do this preventive action in case of battery pack, so their record and their monitoring is very important. So that's why also thermal management of electric vehicle is very important. Fourth point is suppress thermal runaway propagation. So what will happen in case of thermal runaway? This all will get burned. This vehicle, the passenger, there is a higher chances of fire hazard. So to like it should not be happen. For that also thermal management is very important. And to keep the traction motors at optimal working temperatures. The traction motor which are using in electric vehicle, their cooling is also important, because like electronics devices or electronics motors and all, they have a temperature range. So if they works in that temperature range, their efficiency will be high. If the temperature rises, their efficiency decreases. So that also thermal management of this traction motors and electronics devices is also very important. So, showing you a pictorial view of what kind of things we have to manage in electric vehicle thermal management. So this is car cabin. So this we have to manage temperature management of this is important. This traction motor is there, power electronics is there, and this battery. So battery, so like this battery is most important part of the EV thermal management. So coming to the point, what if the battery is too cold? So there are low temperature effects on the battery. So if this temperature is lower than 5 degrees Celsius, we cannot go for the fast charging process. You maybe must have heard about that. For example, suppose I have an electric car. So normally it took 5 to 7 hours, depends upon their battery capacity. It 5 to 7 hours they took for the full charge. If we do it our at home or our office like normal grid. And if you are going to the fast charge, it will be happening in half an hour or 1 hour, depends upon the battery capacity. So in case this temperature is lower than 5 degrees Celsius, we can't go for the fast charge. So that's why this is very important. Suppose what will happen if the temperature of the battery pack is lower than 0 degrees Celsius? In that case, battery will lose their charge, battery will lose their power, the vehicle will lose their acceleration and driving range. So people you maybe think, okay, we can cool this battery pack at 0 degrees Celsius. So I will tell you, it's nothing like that. We have to, there is a temperature range. So we have to keep our battery pack in that range. We can't go for the lower temperature. We can't go for the higher temperature. So this was the lower temperature effects. And what is the higher temperature effects on the battery pack? So if the temperature of the battery pack is higher than 30 degrees Celsius, it will degrade the battery performance. Suppose what will happen if it is greater than 40 degrees Celsius, so it can lead to the serious and irreversible damage. So that's why. And if it is greater than 150 degrees Celsius, it will happen this thermal runaway. So to it should not happen those all things. That's why this thermal management of electric vehicle is important. So I will be coming to the point, what will happen if we did not maintain this thermal management in an electric vehicle. In that case, there will be a condition of thermal runaway. So I will be showing you what the thermal runaway is. So this is a picture. You can see that. So there are three kind of the cells are which we use in a battery pack. So we can go. There are chances of mechanical abuse. There are chances of electrical abuse. There are chances of thermal abuse. So in mechanical abuse, what will happen in case of accident or anything? It can get crushed or it can get punctured. In case of electrical abuse, what will happen? It will get overcharged or over discharged. And in case of thermal abuse, it will get overheated. So in case of any these three, it will create a situation of thermal runaway. One cell, it will propagate to the their adjacent cell, and there will be a blast. So that's why this thermal runaway is very hazardous situation in an electric vehicle, and that is the reason this thermal management of electric vehicle is very important. So okay, this car cabin is fine, this traction motor is fine, the electronics is fine, but we can't ignore this battery cooling system or battery thermal management system. So I will be showing you in further like next slide. So what this battery cooling systems or battery thermal systems management systems are there. In a battery, there are few heat sources, faster battery charging. If we go for the fast charging, there are enormous amount of heat has been generated. Due to local electrodes overpotential, this is also a condition in which this battery packs generates the heat. And due to the entropy of the cell reaction, that also creates some heat in the battery pack. And this each and every cell, there are internal chemical reactions are there due to which this energy has been generated. So due to their major reaction, there are some side reactions as well in a battery pack, so that also creates some heat in a battery pack. So there, we will be discussing some ways, some methods, what people are using in industry to cool the battery pack. So there are a few methods of battery cooling. One is air cooling, refrigerant cooling, liquid cooling, and PCM, phase change material cooling. So air cooling. So in a picture you can see there is a battery pack. This is a blower. So this battery pack is a air cooled system. Battery is cooled by the air direct exposed to the environment or by fan. So since this is a huge battery pack, so we can't rely on direct environmental air. So there is a huge fan in there, and this fan sucks the environmental air from outside and is blow the air inside the battery pack. You can see there are channels and all, so it goes and again return it back. This blue lines is there, that is the cold air system. And once it get propagate further, so it to get cold, sorry, heated, and after heating up there is a red lines are there, so that this hot air coming is outside. So this is the way, a simple view, how this air cooling system is going on. So few vehicles are there which are relied on this air cooling system. That is Nissan Leaf, Nissan E NV200, Honda Insight, Honda Fit EV, Toyota Primus, and this Renault Zoe, Hyundai Ioniq. So this was each Toyota Prius Prime. This battery pack is for Toyota Prius. Now, refrigerant cooling. So in refrigerant cooling, what is to happen? Refrigerant are directly passed through the passages inside the battery pack to cool the battery. So this is battery pack of BMW. So here cells are not there, only these passages are there. So this through this passages, this direct refrigerants are flowing, so that battery pack could be cooled down. So I will show you. So here this goes to inlet, and here is tubes are there. So by these tubes, this refrigerant is to go each and every passage, and here it comes outside. So this is the way this refrigerant cooling works in a battery pack. So there are some vehicles which are using this refrigerant cooling is BMW i3, Mercedes-Benz S400 Blue, for this Proton Saga, this Audi A6, BMW A6, BMW X5, and BMW i8. The previous this was a replica of this BMW i3. Now liquid cooling system. So this is the most favorable and most good cooling system people are using in the industry right now. So in this one, the cooling fluid first gets cooled by the radiator or HVAC system, and then it further passes through the cooling tubes to cool down the battery pack. This is a Chevrolet battery pack, and you can see that like beneath that there is a cooling plate is there, and in that cooling plate there are some internal tubes are there in which this liquid coolant is going on, and after cooling the battery pack it is to get returned. So this is the way this liquid cooling system is, and this is the most convenient and most using most preferred liquid cooling system right now in the industry for the battery pack. So some vehicles are there which are using liquid cooling system, that is Chevrolet Volt, Chevrolet this Tesla Model S, Tesla Model X, Model 3, Ford Focus, Toyota IQ, Audi R8, e-tron, Volvo XC. These all vehicles are using liquid cooling system for their battery thermal management. And one is this is the liquid cooling by immersion. So there are two types of liquid cooling system. Earlier it was indirect cooling system. This is direct liquid cooling system. In this, what used to happen? We have a cabinet in which we have cooling fluids are there here, and these cells are emerged into that. Cells are, you can see this is module case, this is a cabinet, and this is battery cells, and these liquids are there. So liquids are there, and these all cells are emerged into that, and we have a reservoir, pump, and heating system. So by that we can cool the battery system over there. So this system very few people are using in the industry. And recently this 3M, this is a very big company which are in the field of materials, adhesives, cooling systems and all. So they presented their Novec engineering fluid which we can use for the immersion cooling system. Then last one is phase change material. So in this system, what we used to happen, there is a material, so it can absorb the heat, and once their load has been disengaged, then again it release the heat and comes in their actual condition. So in this, see, there are various cells are there, and those all are surrounded by black colored phase change material. So once these cells used to get heat, they used to dissipate the heat to the this surrounding materials, and these materials, this is phase change material, they used to absorb the heat, and once we stop the vehicle in that condition, it again release the heat to the environment. So this is the phase change material. So the cells are surrounded by the phase change material which absorbs heat while melting from solid to liquid and then releasing the energy while again getting back to the solid. So this cooling system is there having some limitation. So up to I think up to 10 kilowatt hour battery capacity, we can people are using this phase change material material cooling. So here is a comparison of cooling system. Okay, so there are for now we have four type of cooling system, air cooling system. So air cooling system could be a direct or indirect cooling system. In direct cooling system, the battery pack would be directly exposed to the environmental air. In indirect cooling system of air, we will be having a fan blow the air from outside, and in this way this battery will cool. So this is fan cooling is a part of actually this air cooling system. So in that there are phase change material and which absorbs the heat, and when this vehicle are not in it, it release the heat and get again in their actual condition. Here are liquid cooling system. So in liquid cooling system, two types of indirect and direct cooling system. In indirect cooling system, there are tubes which used to carry on this coolant, and these tubes are direct in contact with the cells, take the heat from the cells and carry on. And in case of direct cooling system, these all cells are directly emerge in a cabinet in which this liquid coolants are there or air are there, and in that way this battery pack is to get cooled. So there is a case study. So this is a 32 kilowatt hour battery pack made by lithium phosphorus cells. So in this, what used to happen? So I will be showing how this. So you can see this rectangular blocks are there. So those all our battery, and this all is the white small strips are there. That is bus bar. So it all get connected in series, and this is the outer structure of the battery pack, and these all are vents. So what will happen in opposite side? There are a few numbers of blower fan is there, so that will blow the air from opposite side, and in this vents the air is coming out. So in that way this battery package is to get cooled. So we have some sensor that is like monitoring ki, okay, if this is the temperature, like suppose 0 to 25 degrees Celsius, in that case only few fans will be running. If we have 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, then 50% of the fans will be running, and in case of temperature greater than 30 degrees Celsius, in that case all the fans will be running. So that is opposite side, so you are not able to see that, but in opposite side there are fans, and that is blowing the air through the cells, and this by this AC vents, this hot air is coming out. Now, coming to job opportunities in the market. So, see, there are few things in battery pack. So, in battery, in electric vehicle, the battery is major thing, and in battery, two types of things is there. One is mechanical segment, one is electrical and electronics segment. So, both are used to be called battery design engineer. So, the people who will be a mechanical engineer, they will be this going through this their structures of the battery pack, their sideway, there's arrangement of the battery pack, how the cells we are arranging, their this p and parallel and series combination of the cells, and their cooling systems of the battery pack. When if you are electrical or electronics engineer, you will be seeing how, okay, how this low voltage to high voltage system is going on, there how this charging is going on for chargers and all are there. And to monitor this thermal management of electric vehicle, there is a thing called BMS, battery management system. So those all things is to take care about by this electrical and electronics engineer. Apart from that, once designer has been designed the battery pack, we have to prototype the battery pack. So there are prototyping engineer, there are manufacturing engineer for the battery pack. So there are tons of scope, future scope are there as a battery design engineer. You must be have heard about that this our government have each forcing or regulating the law and order to this reduce the number of IC engine based vehicle, and they are planning to come with this full electric vehicle in near future. So if we talk about that, in that scenario also our future is very bright as a battery engineer, as a electric vehicle engineer. And currently companies are working in the field of this, like Tata Motors, Mahindra Electric, Bosch, Ola Electric, Ather, Pravec Dynamics, Sun Mobility, Ultraviolet, Influx. N number of companies are there. Even though this Bajaj, Hero, those all are also coming with their electric vehicle. So there are tons of opportunities in this field.